All right, welcome back to Mandalorian Reaction, Episode 8, the season finale of Mandalorian Season 3.
Series finale, right? Feels like.
It's the season finale. Yeah, I mean, in a way, it kind of feels like a series finale, but if we didn't know about the Mandalorian movie of Filoni, I would say, nah. You're making me question whether I feel like it's a series finale or not. I don't know. I think that the movie coming up is keeping that from feeling that way to me. I feel like we got more to come.
I kind of felt like they went through extensive lengths to wrap that bow up at the end, right?
Yeah, true enough, but I don't know. This whole season was just a strange one, man. I mean, like, certainly for the diehard fan, there was a lot of great stuff. For the casual fan, not so much. It was very, very a lot of Clone Wars references, a lot of Rebels references, and if you haven't seen them all, which I haven't,
and Legends,
yes, and Legends, I haven't watched all Clone Wars. I don't know if I've seen more than I do own the pilot. I didn't care for the first pilot movie. It did get way better. I know that. I've seen an episode here and there, and Ahsoka wasn't nearly as annoying as she was in the first early season. I've seen almost all of Rebels, but I haven't seen it all. I didn't see the last season. So, there's a lot that I wouldn't have picked up on either.
Yeah.
Like the space whales, for example. I didn't know about them. They weren't a thing. I hadn't seen them yet. Let's see. It's episode 8. The Return is the name of the episode. And the more I think about it, man, Gideon making those clones the way he was doing. He had his base on Mandalore. We found that out last episode. So I started thinking about it. I was like, was this guy going to just like genocide regular Mandalorians somehow using what the resources he had, eventually get rid of them all, and then remake Mandalorians all in his own image? I think that's exactly what he intended to do. I don't think he was just going to use those few clones. I think that was just, the test batch. So, yeah,
maybe.
I think that's definitely what he was doing. We got a hallway fight, which is always great. I liked how he used the flamethrower on the other trooper. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have any weapons, and he's going on. He kept finding his weapons. I thought that was kind of weird. Let's see.
I don't know. I kind of felt weird about that hallway fight, though. And I couldn't tell you why. It's just it was just weird. You know what it is? It's not the traditional hallway scene, right?
Okay.
You're dealing with I think it was Old Boy, right? No.
Yeah, Den.
Was it Old Boy that was really known about?
What's that?
Was it Old Boy that really had the great one, or I'm wanting to say there was something else.
Anyway, I don't remember.
You're just your traditional hallway. It's like a long hallway. It's flat on the sides and everything. And this was not that, right? It was like little sections of a walkway. yeah, true. It wasn't a full on hallway. I think that may have been what was bothering me.
Yeah, it still seemed like an okay fight. It wasn't too bad. Wasn't the best to write home about, but it was interesting. I like Grogu saving Din and then trying to spray him with the back to sprays. Like he's seen it. He's seen the IG do it, so he thinks that's what to do, but he doesn't realize the helmet has to be off. And he's like, it's fucking hilarious, man. I love it.
It was funny.
The TIE advanced. We got to finally see them taking off in their little bat positions. I thought we were going to see it last week, but we didn't. And the TIE bombers, they took off. That was really cool.
I was really expecting a Rey scene with those TIE, with the dark saber and the TIEs coming out.
Yeah, we didn't get it, unfortunately. No,
we didn't. We got a lot of great aerial combat.
Yes, we did. That's one of my notes. I was going to say that the TIEs attacking their ships and stuff. It was great. There's all different points of view that you're just not used to seeing, especially in the older Star Wars. You know, it's really cool to see the newer. That's why I do like a lot of the newer Star Wars stuff, is because they can just go hog wild with these ships, like the last Star Wars movie, Rise of Skywalker. Just ridiculous amounts of Star Destroyers and ships. It's just so stupid. It was great. I loved it.
Well, not just that, but also the Mandalorians and Trooper fights.
Yeah, that was cool. Because,
amazing.
Yeah, and you see them in the backgrounds when they were when Din was fighting Gideon. You can see them in the background like little bees flitting around or something. It was kind of cool. I thought it was funny. Din said, "I'm sorry, I don't speak binary." I just thought that was funny for some reason. I may have to steal that line. Mouse droids just whistling away as he works. I always thought they were cute, the way they just doing their own thing as they're.
I've always loved mouse droids, and this is the first time I've ever really seen one actually do anything.
I know, right? Yeah, it has a purpose. Now you think, okay, so maybe they do have a purpose. I think they're meant to be like messenger droids, but they can, obviously be sentries as well. Because I love their little lights, their little. Yes, that was great. And they come up for the R5, and then one of them gets smacked. One of them gets sent off the edge. That's sad. Poor little mousy droid. But I saw one of the Mandalorians had like a single rocket motor in his jetpack. It was like only, I don't know, there might be more than one, but as they were all flying away, I was looking. Oh, there's one with just a single motor in the center. That's pretty neat. I would have liked to have seen like a close-up of the actual jetpack. I'm sorry, jetpack. I have to be precise for the Star Wars fans. Wait, I'm a Star Wars fan.
It could be a backpack with jets, right?
That's right.
My backpack has jets, like Bubba the Fett. I bounty hunt for Jabba Hutt to finance my vet.
My vet.
That's some man. I miss that. It reminds me of Vez.
Yeah.
Miss Vez. He just disappeared from Facebook. I guess he's still driving. The last I heard, he was living down here. Anyway, that's for another time.
Last I heard, yes, he's in your area.
Yeah,
it's been a while for me too.
Well, I saw him at the grocery store, so yeah, I know he's down here.
Okay.
Let's see, where was I? Yeah, we already said the battle looked great. But Din trying to grab, it was funny because he didn't have weapons, and he's using. I always say, like, these people that like have to fight their way out of a situation in movies, right? And say they don't have weapons, but they manage to overpower somebody who does have a weapon, and then they leave the weapon behind. There's nothing that irritates me more, man. It's like, think of it like a game, man. That's a weapon. You got to grab it. When you come across ammo, you got to grab the ammo. You got to keep everything going. And Din was using those rules. He was grabbing things as he was going. He grabbed that jetpack off that dude. He was trying to grab one of the knives. As one of the guys, he stuck a knife in his face, and he was trying to grab it as he fell away. I thought that was hilarious. Because he's like, I'm going to need that.
That's always been a big thing for me too. When you see these action movies of these guys going through and killing these guys with their guns, and they just leave the gun on the floor, and I'm like, you could at least get a mag out of it or something.
Exactly, man. What are they thinking? I don't know. Crazy. Yeah, and then he was picking up the weapons as he went.
He's upgrading, right?
Yeah, he was getting
ready for the next fight.
And of course, I was right about those clones being Gideon's clones. We couldn't see them, but we could see they were dark skin, so we knew it was him. Yeah. We had to know. Question I have is, do you think clones actually died? Now, Gideon said before they took their last breath, so you think they're gone. Okay.
I do.
No more.
Like Gideon. I said, they went through extensive steps to put everything in a bow.
You know what I say? One lived. Gideon died, but one lived. And that would be one with Jedi powers, too.
Right. Apparently all of them were, right?
Right, yeah, but I only say one survived. And that could be addressed in that new movie. Be interesting. We'll see what happens. The greenery on Mandalore was cool. I think they were quite surprised by it for sure, because they just always been thought it was cursed. That
gave me a very I don't know, something about that scene just maybe it was just the fact that it was underground made me think of like Labyrinth, like so many of those scenes.
Yeah, I can
that were
see that.
underground.
I know exactly what you're saying. Man, it's getting wicked dark in here. I'm gonna silhouette. I had sunlight when we started. It's getting like dark outside. I'm just gonna hold that. No, just kidding. Yeah, Skinny Pete. Yeah, I noticed one thing I liked about his suit was like just a bunch of parts and stuff. And it turns out that pauldron is a battle droid head. Once I finally got a good look at it from the super battle droid, the middle part of it was pretty cool. So he's been fighting for a long time. He got that obviously from Clone Wars.
All right. I did have a little bit of a problem with they had that episode where they were on, what was the other planet that the covert was on? Where the kid got kidnapped by
I can't remember the name of
wing or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, that whole deal with I'm out of fuel. Everybody was out of fuel. And here we have all of these aerial battles and axes lifting off it beyond the stratosphere and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay.
You were so right, bro. You were so right. I didn't even consider that. But they were talking about that fuel. They were up there for a hot minute, no doubt. I love seeing the pissed off Grogu. That was cool. He's like, getting that.
No.
His ears go back when he's mad, just like a cat. It's great.
Yeah.
One of the troopers that got shot by Bo-Katan that was in the air, I swear to God they used the agony cry from Vader in Return of the Jedi when his hand gets cut off. You know that?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And I swear that guy made the exact same. It may not be the same exact sample, but it should have been. It would have been funny if it was. Give a little nod to the sound.
If not, it was probably on purpose, right?
Yeah, it was very cool. There's not a lot to say. The Darksaber gone. That's a great thing, I think.
Yeah.
Because they fight the Mandalorian factions. We're trying to bring them together. The whole point of this is a new Mandalore. You gotta get rid of the Darksaber. So that's awesome. I'm glad that was killed off. Grogu, did you see Grogu slide in there to save the day? He slid on the floor like Din slid on the floor after him, just the same way too. It was like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
Grogu trying to be all badass.
Well, it eventually was the badass saving both Din and Bo-Katan, right?
Grogu is the man. We end on the Vizsla getting rechristened in the actual living waters now. I guess they wanted to do it over since they had the right place. Do it instead of some backwoods watering hole.
So, I had a question about that. Like the mythosaur, is it really just chilling down there and halfway awake? Did it just wake up for a second? What was that?
I think it's just kicking it, man. I mean, it must be just hanging out, just waiting for whatever. I mean, maybe Vizsla's, that little kid Vizsla's ancestor trained it to do something. I don't know.
Maybe.
But then, it was cool to see Din Grogu. It kind of seems weird because it doesn't follow the way we know, Bo-Katan's, the Krace family name. I wouldn't think Din would have been the family name.
Right.
So that's kind of weird. But Din Grogu, he gets to be baby Din now. Din Djarin's son.
Well, he's apprentice, right?
Yeah, he's his apprentice now, but he took him on as his son.
Right.
And we pretty much, I think, infer that the armorer was Din's teacher.
Right. Yeah, that's one of those things that's not really said or put out there, but it's definitely a feel, right?
You do get that feeling. Even right there at the end, she kind of makes a little comment or something for that feeling. They relight the great furnace there, or whatever it's called.
The Great Forge.
Great Forge. Thank you, sir. Yeah. He goes. I thought it was cool that he's going to help out the New Republic. So that's obviously seeding for the movie.
Right.
A bounty hunter on the side of good. That's an interesting take in Star Wars, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We end up back on Navarro. The pagoda looks fantastic, baby. Looking fantastic. all shiny and painted blue and white. I thought it was great, and we get the IG-11 Marshall looking good. That was a nice touch. Got to see the Anzellans one more time, and then we get to the very end, and they get out there on their farm, and I like how he kicks back on the porch there. Just got a very Western ending.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like the end of a Western.
You know, they did that little tight fade out, circular fade. Great.
I would have liked to have seen, I couldn't tell you what, but just something more from Carl in the previous scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's got chops for like comedy and, you know, or being serious or just bringing something to the table. And that just kind of felt like it. Okay, well, here you go.
Trying some mood lighting.
But anyway, they wrapped everything up on a nice bow at the end. He retires to the farm with a pond where he can fish while Grogu trains.
Yeah.
And that's it, right?
That's it, man. El Boringo.
Yeah.
Overall, I would say it came off better than Book of Boba Fett. Boba Fett. That's my boat. Oh man.
Well, I mean, the numbers can tell you that.
Yeah, it has its moments. It was good in parts, not so much in others. And you know, what can I say? I am looking forward to seeing the movie that Filoni ends up doing.
Yeah,
and seeing how it extends this out. I don't know what the fourth season holds. They think there were a lot of people that thought that Pedro Pascal might leave. Right. So, who knows? We'll see. Time will tell. But anyway, I mean, that's it. That's our take. It was, I'd probably give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7.
I can't really rate it on that. Like, the whole season, there were some amazing flight scenes, basically. Yeah. Like the chase scenes, whether they were in a ship or just Mandalores flying.
Yeah, we got some great eye candy, some great stuff that we've only seen in animations. It was good to see it in live action.
Yeah.
I think, but overall, like that's what I'm saying. I can take it overall. Looking at all the good points and bad. I mean, it's 6.5 is not a bad grade. 7, you know. It just wasn't a home run like season 1 and 2 were.
Right.
Plain and simple. They got away from their. I think they got Kathleen Kennedy ultimately, but it is what it is.
Kathleen!
I'm
sorry, there's a guy on YouTube that I watch sometimes. He's Sir Steve-O Timothy, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, he's Irish. He's hilarious.
Aye. Well, thank you all for watching. And we'll say top of the evening to you. Until next time. We'll see you on the Picard reaction.